Well, good morning, folks. Today, got everything tacked up good. Had a oil leak last night. Put a little diaper right there. I think what we need to do is just go ahead and just get it out of the way. I'm not looking forward to it, but we need to do it. Let's go ahead and start ripping us down some fender material. And we're setting about 40 and a half. And that'll be right in the center of our C channel. And this side's a little bit different. And I was going to bolt, I thought about bolting the fender covers here. Thought about bolting down this. And making it to where if I got into them, I could, if it tore it up, then I could just cut down another fender, paint it, fab it, and bolt it back on. And I really don't want to do that thing because I think I want to make it as rigid as I can to hopefully deflect, where if I did rub it hard, it won't tear it up, it may scratch it or whatever. And they pulled this truck for years and years and years. They pulled a detach with this truck for years and years and years. And they did tear anything up, they tore it up on the back. It's always the back there is what got tore up. I never did see any, I got the old fenders outside, I never did see any damage on them, this end. And I'd like to really kind of beef it up. See, it's working out pretty good. This one might be a little torqued, but I think it's okay. But I'm going to bolt it to this end, and I'm going to weld everything to this. So that will be one piece. So I just take the crane wheels off, do all I need to do, and set it back down. But I think if I go ahead, I think I really need to do that. Because that's probably about some of the most invasive as far as cutting and just absolute gnarliness. Because we're going to take a case saw with a metal blade and cut that plate. We're not going to use a torch. We're going to use a metal saw outside. Not looking forward to it at all. One of the worst things about doing anything like this is that I don't have the exact tools to do it, like a shear or anything. If I had that sheared, I think it's going to take another week to place some cotton on. Like I said, I'll not make that mistake again. All my metal will come from Huntington Steel here on out. All my metal comes from Huntington Steel. I'm not fooling anybody. And hopefully I can get everybody else to do the same thing. So we're going to set about 40 and a half because this is going to be one piece. And then we're going to have another piece, which I'll probably end up buttoning it up to right on this corner, I think. That's going to give you the most penetratable, firm bead. It's going to be right in here. And then I'll take a piece of 2-inch flat bar and I'll weld it to the bottom of this 3-inch C channel. They'll probably up a little piece, but you get what I'm saying. And I will actually angle that up so it will make a pyramid. So it'll be welded. This part of the fender will be welded at the top, and that piece of flat bar will be right at the bottom, and it'll kind of give it a good sure fit and hold right there. And then if I need to, I can take a torch, run it across, and heat it in a certain position and bend it. I think that'll work out good. So you're going to come off flat, and you're going to come down. I think I had it kind of spied out 12 inches at one angle, and then you're actually going to be straight down. I don't know if you guys can really envision that or not, but I'm thinking about coming down 12 inches or 18. 18 would be here. I think it's going to be easier for me to visualize it once I get it on there, but I've seen some they just put rubber underneath there. But I think as long as I don't go, if I stay up a little bit higher than this, I'm just afraid of ever getting over into a ditch. And if I get my fender down too low and I get into a ditch, when I go to pull it out, it's going to bend my fender back. So I think that's one of the reasons why I don't think I want to go much lower than this general area right here, which is just above halfway the tire. Because that'll give me, if I get in a ditch and I get my drag on my maxis and stuff like that, should hold it up. And if I get much more than that, chances I'm probably jumped out and totaled anyway. So a big fender is really the least of our worries. But sincerely, that's what we're going to do this morning. So let's get everything set up with the case all. Let's get this metal cut and get on our way. Well, we finally got the mess cleaned up. Put them other two pieces up against the wall. Took my little crane, carried it out here. And I got it all marked out. Of course, the sheets is not 48. They're like 48 inches, 48 3/4 of an inch wide. I learned my lesson a few years ago, just counting it as 48. I learned my lesson a few years ago that metal, you probably better measure it, because sometimes they give you just a little bit more. Well, they didn't give me nothing with this order, but you get the point. So I split it. It's like 3/8, 24 inches, 24 3/8 inches wide on each side. And then I marked it out. That's our actual fender. So you're going to have a 41-inch piece that goes on top of the tire. You're going to have a 13-inch piece that's coming down at an angle. And then you're going to have an 8-inch piece. It's going to be straight up and down. And it's going to weld together like that. So let's go out here in the shed. Let's get our case all. And let's snip that out real quick. Now, you ain't supposed to do this, but the blades on these case saws are real thick. And the reason why they're real thick is because they turn so fast, and it gives you a little bit more robustness or whatever. The problem with that is that it cuts slow. And if anybody knows me, they know that I don't deal well with slow. So what we're going to do is we're going to put us a real thin blade that goes on my chop saw. Max RPM is 4,300. I think the max RPM on them one's a lot more. Now, don't do this. Don't do this, but we do this. And how we do it is we just don't give it a lot of fuel. We hold back and we stagger it. Now, these saws are meant to be run wide open. So if you do this for an extended period of time, you'll foul plug and it does all kinds of bull mess. But what we're doing, we're going to do this. Because what happens is if you get it going too fast, next thing you know, you see the blade, it will actually look like it just turns inside out, and that's when it's getting ready to blow apart. So again, don't do this. We're going to do it, but don't you all do this. Wow, that is not fun. I do not enjoy doing that. Just glad it's over with for a while. We got to put a metal top on that table too, so I'll have to do it again and again, but at least got that far. There's one of them. Okay. Now it's time to start doing some sizing up. So, hold tight. All right, fenders, we're gonna start putting the fenders on. I've been standing here quietly looking and measuring and excited. We gotta heat that, we're about to heat that other side up. I was gonna bring the backhoe in here, and I still ended up doing this. I started, pecking around on it with the big pecker over there. It's pretty daggone good steel. So, let's put us a couple tacks, and to hold this one in place, let's put us a couple tacks, and then we'll go out here and start getting our pieces and bringing our pieces in here and start getting them together. And I've measured and measured, and it looks like they're both the same on both sides. Just need a couple tacks on it. It should be pretty good. I'm always sticking the factory edge to the outside. That was another big key thing. My cuts are pretty straight. A couple times there I gave it a little bit too much fuel. Biggest thing is where am I going to weld this at? Because I'm thinking I'm going to have to probably just break it off a couple times and redo it. So really, you ain't got a science yet of how I want it. Don't have no mold or anything. That looks actually pretty good. Too bad, I hope I can do it twice. They're gonna look at one side at a time anyway. I kinda like it. Like that right there is about what I want. Remember to stick the factory edge to the outside. And if I had a brake, I could have just broke this where I wanted it, but I don't have a brake. I don't have a brake, and I don't really have any close friends that are in the area as a brake, so. Let's just get it kind of tight together here, and then we'll look at it. It's got a pretty good hard edge right there. I may have to actually grind that down. Right there, it looks pretty good. I think I can grind it, clean it up. Let's just tack it and see what she looks like. Impatient, I want to see what it looks like. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm standing here all the way now. I think it's us. Swear to it. I think that's us right there. Now, if we can do the same thing on the other side, we'll be doing good. I'll check back with you. Well, there's the outside of the one side. I got him tacked together pretty good. Got all the curtain welded in there. I double reinforced the front
around that piece, and then it joins this piece and this piece together. And then there's, of course, there's one underneath it. It's kind of welded like that. And then they're bolted into the side. I mean, I think she's pretty sturdy. Of course, I got to do this on the inside too, but I won't do it till I probably, well, I know I won't. I won't even fool with that until I get it off the truck. Then I'll weld them in. There's no use to sit there and fight with all that. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of look everything over. I wished I probably would have come on down a little bit more. I really now, after I kind of looked at it, I wished I probably would have come down just a little bit more. But what I got some really heavy duty mining belt. And it don't bend real easy. And I think I'm gonna cut me a piece probably, I don't know, 8 inches, 12 inches or so. I'll do some test fitting and I'm gonna bolt it through this and let it hang down in front. And that way it won't have, if it's where it's so stiff, it won't have the tendency to go up underneath my wheel. And I mean, I might not even do that, I don't know. I mean, I think it looks good. I think they look heavy duty. I think it just says, you know, I'm a bad man with very little money. I had to make these myself. All right, let's try to get this other side started. Well, I got that straightened up pretty good. As good as it's got a little bit of bend in it. I had it going all right, and I got friggin' in a hurry. Got some lunch started. I didn't realize it was going to rain like it did. Remember, try to keep our edges out. I got a lot still to do. Remember to keep our factory edges out there. Makes it easier on the lineup guy. I learned a little bit from this other one. So I think this other side over about 1/2 of an inch. And about 3/4. I may want to bring my welder on this side, maybe. got screwed up. Started thinking, I was like, I'll get me something to stick back in there and straighten them prongs out. No, goober. Can't do that. Alright, we'll just double check this real quick. I got some lunch ordered up. I gotta cut me a couple pieces of angle iron. I've already welded. This time I changed it. The design's a little bit different on this side. The flat bar was welded on the inside of the angle iron on that side. This side I want to put my angle iron on the outside. That way it's all one piece. Because that way there's two pieces. And everything's looking pretty good. Run our flat bar on this side. Got enough room to run our flat bar on that side. That side may be a little bit different. I need to make sure I check it. Looks like they're lined up pretty good. Same things. Couple taps. Welder ain't welding exactly right. Probably ought to go ahead and get them pieces cut for our other thing here. We'll check back in here in a few minutes. Well, there is the second one built. And I think I am just going to put like a piece of like rubber mat or mining belt or something hanging down. I think it'll be fine. We'll leave it up high. We'll call it off-road applications. That's got that fender built. I think what I need to do, see, I need to drill some holes for the back to mount them to that bracket. What else do we need to do? We need to finish stitch welding our skeleton frame. We need to get it welded together pretty good where it can hold up to lifting itself up and down. We need to figure out our mounting system for our steps, and of course mounting the catwalk fenders and stuff. We need to figure out, we got to make some strapping to come down to mount it, because now we just got mounts on both sides. I wished I'd have done this side like I did that side, but again, I hadn't really, I've never done this before, so it's kind of new to me, but all in all, I mean, it'll dress up fine. And then I'll do the inside. I'll do that when it's off. There's no need to be fighting and then take a chance on catching something on fire. I can weld the inside pieces. I can do them. I don't even know if I even put any on this. I know I'm gonna put some here, but I may not even put anything in here. That's pretty heavy, robust. I like the double whammy here. with it tying these two pieces together, then it's holding it up. I like that. I think that turned out nice. I think that was a really good addition. I really guess the only thing I need to do is I just need to go back and really tighten these up pretty good. And we need to put our cutter plate out for on top. We need to get that done. And we need to get these brackets and stuff made for these boxes and this tank over here. We're coming along. We're moving along just fine. All right, get you another update here in a few. Well, we got the tank mounted finally. I raised him up a little bit more than what I first planned. I'm well above the bottom of the tank. By the time I put my 2 elbows in, my lines will still be higher than the bottom of the tank. And we got our step mounted. I stood here for 30 minutes trying to figure out a way to utilize all these holes, and just to be honest, it was wearing me out. I could not get everything to line up, so I was getting mad. Finally, I grabbed some scrap and come over here, and I started C-clamping it to everything, and then I come up with this little gig. So this welds to the bridge, comes down, there's nothing welded to the truck, and then we just drilled a hole through the side of it, and drilled a hole through the side of the step, put a bolt there, and you got a bolt through the top. We drilled through that, through our bridge. So this step is not even actually connected to the truck. It's connected to the bridge, which is okay. I've got it mounted, 2 bolts on each side right here. I'll have it mounted on the back. Really, I don't see how many bolts I'm going to need in it. I don't think I'm going to need that many more bolts. I mean, it can't come up. I guess it could, but the chances of that is like none. I mean, severely none. It can't go left or right because I'm going to mount the step on each side the same way, so it can't go left or right. I don't think I'm going to put any more bolts in. I swear I don't. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think by the time it's bolted in the back, it's got them bolts in there, and then you slide it down on top of the frame on each side. I really don't see it going anywhere, folks. So I don't know. The more bolts you put in it, the more you got to get back out of it. I got this hydraulic tank bracket. I went outside in the scrap and I found a good thick, I think that's a piece of 80-inch, I think, flat bar. That's left over from one of the belly pans that I built for one of the right-of-way tractors. So I found a piece of that laying outside, and I got about 6 bolts, I think, in it, attaching it to the frame. We used the original frame holes. Then I just kind of welded a angle iron bracket down, and then all the weight is sitting on those feet. It's not actually on the tank underneath the bottom. It's all the weight's on the feet, which I think is how it's designed. I don't think it's actually made to bear weight. So then I just put a strap down, the strap out, and welded them up good and tight. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. I think I only had like 3 bolts holding my big tank in. I think my tank that was on my other truck was even bigger than that. And I was worried whenever I first bought this truck about it being able to pull a dump wagon, but this truck was, I think, originally set up to pull a dump trailer. I think this was an old coal truck because it's got air gate and everything controls over on that one side over there. I'm pretty sure this thing was set up as a dump wagon. So I got plenty of reserve to run a dump wagon, so that's good. Which, in 2 years, it'll probably be a dump truck, but that's besides the point. So we're niddling it down, folks. I can go back up, and I'm going to cut this at an angle and then put a piece of plate over top of that and kind of hide that hole and clean that up here and there. But a lot of that stuff will be done when it's setting off the truck. So we need to go on the other side, and we need to try to get a toolbox mounted, another step, and I might just call it for the day. And then tomorrow, I just got to put the plate on top of all this, and then take it back off, do all my thorough welding, and we'll be ready for paint. All right, guys, it's 9:20. Miss Kay's done sent me a message wanting to know if I was coming home or not. I wanted to get that stupid toolbox mounted. The steps will have to wait till tomorrow, but I got it. Got a lot done. Got a lot done today. Tomorrow we'll plate the top, and we might go ahead and throw a stiffener on the inside of the fenders, not all the way down, but like on the big part, we'll probably throw a stiffener in there maybe tomorrow, plate the top of it, and start tearing it down. Tear it all apart, start welding it together. Probably ain't gonna make no paint or anything this weekend. That's okay. That's all right. We don't have to have paint on it. I'm not gonna get in a hurry with this. I'm taking my time. Yeah, little Cassie Millen come by today, Trooper Millen, and help me straighten them up, give me some eyeballs. But she's all on. This side's done. Tank's mounted, steps mounted. We just gotta plumb the tank up, which I should be able to reuse all my hoses. Everything will be good on that. I just gotta go buy a couple elbows to keep my hoses up. But we're getting real close. We got all the structure pretty much done. So let's go to the house and take a shower and get up in the morning and try to do this all over again. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll probably go ahead and spit this video out tonight, and then tomorrow we'll start again fresh. That'd be the easiest way to do it, because there's so much going on. It's just, we'll just break it up into some fitting or in some videos. So, all right, thanks, guys.